Today, I'm going to do a video on rigging up my YakAttack BlackPak. Recently got this thing for my birthday and did a little research online, and I wanted to pimp this thing out. So let's dive in. All right, the first thing I did, this little bungee that they use to latch the lid closed on the BlackPak, wasn't too thrilled about that setup. I thought it was a little too flimsy and could be difficult to unlatch the lid out on the water. You'd be picking at that thing, and I just wasn't thrilled about it. So I took a canopy tie and I removed the little knob off this canopy tie. You can get these at Walmart. These things are pretty cheap. You can get a whole container of them for like, I don't know, $4 or $5. So I removed this little knob, and you can see here, tied it onto the bungee. And now I have a little bit of an easier means of latching and unlatching the lid. So the next thing I wanted to improve on my BlackPak, so this here long bungee that they added on the back of the BlackPak to act as a hinge. Well, although it's practical, and does work, I'm not too thrilled about it. It's a little bit flimsy, and I think if I ever rolled my kayak, I could see possibly this coming apart or maybe snapping, and me losing a lot of money in tackle. Spent a lot of money on tackle, and last thing I want to do is see my tackle all over the river floating downstream. So I want to improve on that. I found this product here by New Canoe. New Canoe also makes a BlackPak, but they make these hinges. And I figured I'm going to put some sturdy hinges on my BlackPak and improve on this. I also don't like how noisy it can be. When you drop the lid, kind of makes a nice slam. I have to quiet that up, and I think these hinges might help. So let's put these hinges on. Yeah, they're nice and stiff. I think they'll work well. New Canoe makes these for their own version of the BlackPak. So I'm going to put them on my YakAttack BlackPak. First thing to do is I'm going to remove this bungee. Let's line this up. So if I line this up this way, first thing I notice is even with it tight down like that, I don't know if I'm going to run into a problem with clearance. I don't want to push back a little bit. So I also got to tighten this gap up. I want to keep this gap as even as I can. So let me make some quick shims up, and we'll see if we can put some shims in here to keep an even gap on either side of the BlackPak, and then I'll drill my holes and install my hinges. Hang tight. Okay, you can see here I've made some shims out of some cardboard, and then I took some duct tape and I rolled layers and duct tape on it to create some shims to make an even gap, so that way when I drill my holes for my hinges, they aren't out of whack or cockeyed. So I've got my hinges kind of in place over the holes where the old bungee holes are, and I'm going to take my drill and I'm just going to, with the drill, and now I'm going to put my hardware in. Now I'm going to add the nuts to the back side of these screws. And put my nylocks on. And tighten everything down. Okay, I've made a little bit of a shim for back here to give me a little clearance when I open the lid so it doesn't rub. And now I'm going to proceed to drill into the BlackPak to install my hinges. Alright, hinges are installed. It's still a little bit noisy when it comes down, so I think I'm going to put something in here to quiet her up a little bit. Let me see what I got in the garage. Alright, so I ran out to the garage and I was able to find these little rubber tabs. And I'm going to put these on the lid to try and reduce that slamming sound. Hopefully make it a little quieter. These are self-adhesive. That's better, a little quieter anyway. Definitely help out. All right. All right, next up, I did get this idea off of YakAttack site, which is to add a gear track to the top of the box. So you could put a VisiCarbon Pro or even attach some rod holders or even GoPro mounts. So I got this gear track assembly. And you can see here the BlackPak is already pre-drilled to put these tracks on. So I am going to add this track. Looks like there's a couple holes I have to add, but for the most part, this will fit on nicely. So let's gear this up. I'm going to have to add 2 holes. So 3 of the 5 holes have already been drilled into the BlackPak. So what I'm going to do is drop my number 6 screws in to the holes that are already drilled. And I'm going to add 2 more. Open my screws. Nice and snug. Nice. All right, and we're going to do the same for the other side. Drop in my screws. And snug up the nylocks. Try not to over tighten them. Beautiful. All right, gear tracks are in place. Next up, rod holders. The BlackPak comes equipped when you buy it with 2 rod holders, but 2 ain't cutting it for me. The more rod holders I have, the more rods I carry. I'm a junk fisherman. I'll tell you, you can never have too many rod holders or too many rods on your kayak. So I'm going to add some rod holders to my BlackPak. So the BlackPak is pre-drilled to take their rod holders. So all I have to do is bolt them on. There we go, guys. 6 rod holders installed, gear track installed, knob, bumpers, hinges. Awesome. All right, well, I always like to add a little bling to my rod holders. So there's nothing like a little bling than stickers. So I'm gonna put a couple stickers on my rod holders, show off my BlackPak. So we'll take some rubbing alcohol and clean up the plastic a little bit. Make sure there ain't no grease or dirt on there. I'm gonna let them air dry. Use a little heat gun to try and help the adhesive stick to the plastic. How cool is that? That looks killer. That looks great. I'm going to put one back here. Again, use the heat gun, help the adhesive stick. That looks cool. The bling is on. So I picked up this pretty cool tip from a kayaking DIY Facebook group. It was to add some canopy ties to the rod holders to secure your fishing rods in, just in case you flip over or roll your kayak or your box falls out. So we're going to put some canopy ties on. So I'm going to fish the canopy tie up through the hole that you use to secure your rod holder to your BlackPak. Reach in, grab the canopy tie. Now it stays secured on there. Same thing with the next one. And there you go. So now all you do, loosen up the bungee, take the rod of your choice, drop it in your holder, secure it around your bungee. Now your rod ain't going nowhere. That's pretty slick. Those little canopy ties are cheap. You can get them, I don't know, 10 pack for like $5. And think about the money you're going to save when you don't lose a rod out of your BlackPak. And here it is with a casting rod. Pretty cool. That's a quick and simple way of securing your rod to your BlackPak. I like it. Well, hopefully you guys are still hanging in there. We're almost done. I appreciate the views. Here we go. Next up, I have decided to add a bungee setup to the top of my BlackPak, so I can add maybe another 3600 or 3700 case and secure it to the top. As you can see here, I got pad eyes all lined up and some J hooks. So what I'm going to do is drill these to the lid and then run a bungee through them so I can add a 3600 box to the top of my BlackPak. Gives me a little extra space for tackle. All right, so next up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark the pad eyes in their location and then drill the holes and secure them to the lid. Open the hole up a little bit. All right, we're going to put on our nylocks. All right, so next up what I'm going to do is I'm going to run my bungees through my pad eyes and get a general layout and length of how long I want to have this bungee before I cut it. I'm going to snake it through my pad eyes. Including my J-hooks. But then I'm going to put my 3600 on top. Pull this guy over here. Just get a general idea of length. I'm going to pull some of the slack on this bungee. And that should secure pretty good. I might put some rubber bumpers underneath the bottom of this just to keep this from sliding around, but that's pretty snug. And I think I'm going to cut it about there, and I'm going to secure my bungee on that side and put my shrink wrap on. Alright, that looks pretty good. I think I'm going to keep it just about this length. It's fairly snug. Might tighten it up just a little bit more. Cut my bungee about here. Next I'm going to secure the bungee going to check it. Pull a little tighter. Okay. Crimped. Crimped. Check my shrink wrap size. So I'm going to have to trim it a little bit. That ain't going nowhere. So I've made my crimps. So next I'm going to slide my shrink wrap over. Test my bungee. It's nice and tight. So now I'm going to just trim the bungee, trim back the excess. Slide my shrink wrap over. Now I'm going to use my heat gun. I'm going to use my heat gun to seal the edges of my bungee. So you can see here, it's nice, neat, professional looking. There we go. Now my 3600 is secured to the lid of my BlackPak, and now I have a little bit of extra space to put tackle. So if I need to access it, pop this, pop that, access the box, put it back, secure it to the J-hooks, I'm good to go. Awesome. You can see here I can even secure a 3700 if I need to. Just enough room. It's nice and snug. It really isn't going anywhere. And if I want to put a 3700 box on top for my jigs and stuff, done. Look at that. That's awesome. The only thing that's left to do now is to put some of these self-adhesive foam rubber sticky pads to the top of the box, just to kind of keep things from sliding around. Put one there, put one there, put one there, put one here, put one here, maybe one here. There. Just to kind of keep things from sliding around. So now I'm going to add my 3600 box. And it's still snug enough. Nothing's going anywhere. That's awesome. That looks awesome. Well, that's a wrap, guys. It turned out really good. I'm really pleased. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you got a little something out of it. Please like, subscribe, and as always, thank you for watching. I'll talk to you guys soon.